Manchester United move into the top half of the Premier League table for the first time in what feels like forever with a 2-0 home victory against Sunderland in what I felt was a very controlled and comfortable game, which I can't even remember the last time we had a game where we were comfortable and never really felt threatening. Get involved in the comments. Give us your thoughts and feelings on the match yesterday. How are you feeling today? Give us your shouts on the performance. I'm going to run through, share some thoughts. And go through some comments as well that will keep you right up to date with everything. I'm Jamie. Before getting into it, though, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and let's go through a bit of a match reaction from the victory yesterday. Firstly, I am very happy. As I mentioned in yesterday's video, I live in the northeast. I have friends and family, all Sunderland fans, or majority of them anyway. So I am even more happy that I am not getting bantered to death all weekend and probably for the rest of the season and probably the rest of my life if we lost that game yesterday. So personally for me, I am over the moon with that victory. But I felt it was, first half, it was a game of two halves, that's for sure, because the first half I thought we were excellent. Second half a little bit more controlling, but I'll run through that in a second. But let's kick off with the new guy. How good was Senne Lammens? I thought he had an excellent debut. There was a time where the ball went in the box and he just came out and caught it for the first time, that I think I could feel the relief of probably every single Manchester United fan watching that game at that time, and everyone was like, he can catch the ball in the air. Like, just to have a goalkeeper that can do that comfortably was such a relief. And I was watching with my partner. She knows absolutely nothing about football. And I turned around and said, "Did you see that?" And she was like, "Yeah, he caught the ball." I was like, "Exactly." Because we haven't had a goalkeeper that can do that for years. Even going back to De Gea, that was one of his weaknesses as well, was claiming crosses. So from that moment on, I felt so relaxed. I thought he was very calm and composed. I thought he looked commanding in his area as well, looked very vocal on the pitch, shouting at his defenders, keeping them on their toes as well. I like that. I thought his distribution was really good as well, where he wasn't just hoofing it out of play consistently, where we were just giving turnovers to the opposition. He was actually playing some nice balls to people, and especially hit up to Benjamin Sesko, who we'll talk about more in a second as well, because he was excellent. And he was controlling the ball as well. And yes, it's a little bit old school and a little bit direct, but, we're in the position when sometimes you need that as an outlet when you're being pressed, and especially under the pressure that we are at the moment with all the noise around the manager and stuff as well. So his kicking, I felt, was really good, kept the ball in play a majority of the time as well. Two-footed as well. I couldn't work out which was his predominant foot, because he seemed to want to take it on his left all the time, but then he was just as good kicking with his right, which was good. Me likey. Senne Lammens, I thought it was an excellent performance from him as well. 52 total touches, 11 ball recoveries, 3 saves, 2 high claims, 1 sweeper action, and 0 goals conceded. The first clean sheet we have kept all season, and lo and behold, we have what looks like anyway, a competent goalkeeper in net. And I felt that what I really liked as well was at the end of the game when everyone was rushing to him as well, like all the defenders. I think De Ligt ran over to kind of congratulate him as well. And I thought the defence played well as well, which we'll go through in Ruben Amorim's quote, which made his life a little bit easier. But the things that we asked him to do, or that he needed to do, he did very well. Over the moon for Senne Lammens. I thought he had an excellent debut. We were super impressed with him. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below. Now, another player I was super impressed with as well was Benjamin Sesko. I thought he had a really good, like an old school striker performance, in my opinion. I thought with his back to goal, he was holding up the ball, his touch, he can control the ball, he was battling, dueling. His link-up play was really good. Obviously gets a striker's goal as well, being in the right place at the right time. I thought, for me, man of the match performance for Benjamin Sesko. I thought he was super impressive. Super impressive as well, getting back, helping to defend, and Yeah, I thought all round, really good performance from Benjamin Sesko. And again, in terms of stats, 39 total touches, 9 defensive contributions, 4 touches in the box, 4 take-ons, 2 chances created, 1 goal. Superb performance I felt from Benjamin Sesko, and it's nice that he's now getting that consistent run of games, because I don't think we've seen anywhere near. Benjamin Sesko at his absolute best as well, but working hard, link up play, controlling the ball. Like, how nice is it just to, have a competent goalkeeper that looks very calm and looks like he's in control of situations as well, but then also to have a striker that you can actually play the ball to, and it doesn't just bounce straight back as well, because that's been some of the problems we've had. It's the distribution from the goalkeeper could just normally go straight back to the opposition, so then we're just creating our own problems because we're trying to go long or we're trying to beat a press, and then we're just effectively hoofing the ball back to the opponent and putting ourselves under pressure that way. But then also when we did play it into the feet of a striker that wasn't winning the duels and wasn't kind of controlling the ball and keeping hold of it for a few seconds and actually linking up the play so that we can create moments and create attacks, was also causing our own downfall as well. So to have 2 players like Lammens and Sesko yesterday do that job really effectively, I think helped us massively, especially the second half when we were a little bit kind of controlling. I felt we controlled the game at length, didn't really go for it to get that third or fourth goal, which would have been, the icing on the cake. But the game was effectively won in the first half. We just didn't need to do anything stupid, and I felt that Lammens' distribution to Sesko was a big part of that as well. But yeah, so shout outs to those in particular. But then also I thought Mason Mount had a good game. I thought Amad Diallo had a good game as well. So overall, I thought it was a good game. I felt the first half we had a lot of chances, a lot of moments as well. We had, obviously the first goal from Mason Mount was a well-worked goal, and then we had a spell where Amad Diallo had a good shot that was well saved by the goalkeeper, and Mbeumo had another good shot, pretty similar, not long afterwards as well saved by the goalkeeper. Bruno Fernandes hits the post, or the keeper makes an outstanding save to knock it onto the post, and then Amad Diallo I think he gets stuck between, do I try and nod this in or do I nod it across to Mason Mount? In the end, he does neither, and it goes out. That was a good opportunity as well to put the game to bed. To go score that second goal, but then we eventually did get the second goal as well. Old school long throw in, that seems to be back in football now, and if you can't beat them, join them. That's going to be the way Premier League football is going to be, long throw ins, then we get the goal from that as well. And then after that, second half was a little bit, I wouldn't say nervy, but a little bit, we just controlled it. It felt a little bit to me like a boxer that knew they'd won the fight and didn't have to do anything stupid in the last couple of rounds and just kept their opponent at bay by throwing a couple of jabs here and there. And there's nothing wrong with that, especially when we're in the situation that we are now. We didn't have to go out and do anything crazy or anything stupid in that second half. Just keep it simple. Do not make mistakes. Do not let Sunderland back into that game was what was needed, I felt, in that second half. And overall, a win's a win. I love this from Mason Mount as well for the first goal. So Mason Mount's opening goal for United against Sunderland rounded off an 18-pass move, the joint most for a goal in the Premier League this season, and their most in a league game since Bruno Fernandes versus Burnley in September 2023. 18 passes led up to that goal. So it wasn't just a simple cross. It was a well-worked goal from one side or the other, the switch of play. And we saw a little bit of where the system was working a little bit in that first half. Like I said, second half didn't really need to do much though. Just keep Sunderland at bay. Don't do anything stupid. Don't make any mistakes. Just stay solid, stay compact. Yes, I think we tried a couple of times on the counter attack to, get that third goal, put the game to bed. But the frustration for me in that second half was it felt like when Cunha came on, everyone was just trying to get Cunha that goal, and I think he's so desperate to score that goal that he's snatching at his chances and almost trying too much, because there was a couple of moments where we could have made a better pass selection and maybe create that third opportunity, but we were trying to get Cunha his goal as well, which I don't, it is there's a pro and a con to doing that. One, yes, if he gets that goal, then his confidence grows and he's a talented player, and maybe that sets him up for the rest of the season then as well. But then also on the flip side, as a team, we're not in that position. I don't think at the moment where we can be trying to gift players a goal when we just need to get results ourselves. So I think it's a positive in a way because they're trying to obviously help their teammate out, but from a team perspective, I don't like that. We just need to get that goal, and goals will come for players as well. We don't need to try to force it all the time. That was a bit of a concern for the second half, but again, didn't really make a difference as well. So yeah, let's go through some comments on Senne Lammens. Ruben Amorim said that I think he looks confident in the first game, but the important thing is the teammates help Senne to have a good game, lots of focus, and not a lot of mistakes. So Ruben Amorim said, yeah, look, he looked confident for his first game, but he was helped by the team not making stupid decisions and making, hospital passes and everything like that as well. On Benjamin Sesko, Ruben Amorim said, so all the characteristics that Ben, not just goals, but all the characteristics can help us to win games, and we are happy with him. He puts a lot of pressure on himself. It is not a bad thing, but he has the potential to do so much more, to score the goal, to give us a different type of profile inside the box, to use more crosses because he's going to improve the connection with his teammates. And I do think that is something that we need to work on, putting the balls into the right area, I think, to use his strength in the box as well. But that will come with time. I always felt our forwards were going to be a bit slow burners this season just because they're all new and everyone's getting used to each other as well. He said, how many times did Sen kick the ball? And he was there to give the first touch. And I did think that was a bit of a tactic yesterday. Not one I would like to see us continue with all the time going forward. We were very long ball, very direct, very goalkeeper to striker, but it worked. It was effective. And considering the way we are as a team at the moment, when results are all that matter, I'll take that. I'll take that any day of the week as well. But it was a nice sort of link up. So Ruben Amorim saying, look, yeah, he's got the attributes to do really well for ourselves, for us. And then he also said it's that is more important, especially in this league, that we are thinking that when there's a throw in, we have an extra guy that's really big, especially at the first post as well. So also defensively, he can help us out with his height and his aerial ability as well. So yeah, he's a bit of an asset, and hopefully he can continue to grow and develop this season as well. Benjamin Sesko himself said, scoring at Old Trafford has been the moment I've dreamed about as a kid. The atmosphere here is unbelievable, not just after the goal, but after every tackle as well. It's a dream come true. I'm happy we won. So shout out to, again, particularly the new signings. I thought the new signings, Benjamin Sesko and Senne Lammens, were excellent yesterday as well. There were, again, a few other shout-outs. Mason Mount I thought was good. Amad Diallo I thought was excellent as well. I thought Delit at the back, solid performance as well. Everybody else sort of medium, which isn't a bad thing. Bruno's Bruno, isn't he? There was a few frustration with Bruno when he's still trying the Hollywood pass and giving the ball away a few times, but didn't really have an impact on the game. Casemiro I felt was quiet, but I don't think that's a bad thing. Neither as well. I thought Lenny Yoro looked good. Like, that right-hand side has to continue, in my opinion. The Yoro, Ahmad, and Mbeumo link up, I felt was really good in the first half. The left-hand side I would question, because Shaw was okay, didn't do anything particularly good, didn't do anything particularly bad, which again is not a bad thing. But the problem with Shaw is how consistent is that going to be, because he's capable of putting in a 2 out of 10 performance, and he's capable of putting in an 8 out of 10 performance, and that's always been the concern with Luke Shaw. And Dalot, can we please do something with Diego Dalot? I thought he was the only negative from the performances yesterday. I thought he was absolutely shocking. Like, he was, I'd give him a 10 out of 10 for tackling himself sometimes, because he's just trying things and tripping over his own feet all the time. His passing was terrible. I thought he was really, really bad. And I felt that, if we had Dorgu on that side of the pitch, could have been a little bit more effective. But other than that, like I said, win's a win. We go into the international break now with a victory, which is always positive. We've got Liverpool coming up. They've obviously lost the last 3 games in a row as well, and are looking less invincible than what they were at the start of the season, even though their results were better than their performances, I feel, as well. So that's actually going to be, obviously it's a test. It's going to be a big game after the international break as well. Hopefully we'll get maybe the noise now around Ruben Amorim settles down and calms down for a little bit as well over the next couple of weeks. But overall, win's a win. We're out of the bottom half of the table temporarily anyway. I think there's a couple of teams that could play today, so depending on results, we might get dragged back down as well. But overall, it was a step in the right direction. But the problem we have as United is we take one step forward and sometimes 2 steps back, and that's the issue that we have. Ruben Amorim actually said that himself as well in the press conference. He said there was no momentum with our team, so with a break, without a break, we know what happened when we win one game, and then for me the frustration is not to see the same team home and away. So he was saying himself, look, there is no momentum with our team. When he was asked directly, look, is this the stepping stone? Is this the result that you can build some momentum off of? And he was like, there is no momentum with this team because, as Amorim said himself in his own words, he doesn't know what sort of performance he's going to get out of the players and the team. But criticism I have is he's the one picking the inconsistent players on the pitch as well, which is he's partly to blame for that as much as the players are. So yeah, no momentum in our team. So whether we have a break or not, it doesn't matter. But he's also alluding to the fact that we can play different home and away, which is true. Just on home wins as well, Manchester United won 3 consecutive home victories in the Premier League for the first time since August 2023. That's insane how bad our home performances have been as well. So you've got to take the small positives, the small steps, baby steps maybe in the right direction to start at least being good at home again. And then if we can sort out our freaking away form, or in fact just some consistency, in performances first, because I think if we can perform the same every week, we're going to win more games than we're going to lose, that's for sure. And that's what I think Ruben Amorim's alluding to in his comments. He also said, and you saw today, we didn't play well in the second half, but we were focused. We fight second balls. Ben was there to touch the ball all the time. So these small things are going to help us win games. And sometimes you have your moments. So he's basically saying, look, if you didn't play very well, like we didn't in the second half, we're particularly well, but we were doing the right things and we did enough just to stop Sunderland getting any momentum and scoring. And we did have our moments still, I felt, in the second half. He said first half we had a lot of moments, but then in the second half, where we cannot play well, they will not play well. And that is the way a big team play during the season. So it's a big frustration. So effectively what he was saying, look, if we don't play very well, let's make sure the opponent don't play very well as well by doing our jobs, winning duels, being combative, being intense, being switched on, not tracking runners into the box and doing all of this shit that we haven't been doing as well, which we know the capable. But like I said, the problem I have is I know for well some of these players are going to be capable of doing that in the future, so Amorim's frustrated by that as well. But yeah, that's something we can think about more going forward as well, ahead of the next fixture at Liverpool at Anfield. But give us your thoughts and feelings on the game in the comments. Get involved. Don't forget to smash a like on the video on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. See you in the next one.